It certainly doesn't look or feel like winter outside right now.
But in a severe winter situation, would you know how to survive it if you got caught outdoors? Well, Matt Creasy joins us live from Barkhausen Waterfowl Preserve with more on building a shelter and other stuff we need to know if we're going to survive it out in the wilderness. Hi, Matt.
Plan now for when the bad weather comes, right?
Yeah, we're ready for it. Well, I guess whether there's snow on the ground or not, the cold weather still could put us in a survival situation, and hypothermia can set in rather quickly. So whatever situation we're in, it's best to be prepared. And if you happen to be out in the wilderness, lost snowshoeing, or just lost hiking during the winter time, these few tips that we're going to talk about here could make the difference between life and death. The first thing that I always like to know is how to build a fire. If I was lost, I would look for a good spot for a fire. And I always carry some dry tinder with me. And if we can see, that is some of this yellowish color, just the inner bark from a tree here that I use for my tinder to get my fire started. After that, I went and found some dry sticks here and just lumped them up on top. And I built it on top of this wood platform here to keep it off the ground so I have a better chance of getting my fire going. And in the situation, I would probably have some waterproof strike anywhere matches, the ones with the white tip here. So what we're going to do quickly, hopefully, is get our fire started, and then we're going to talk about what we might do or what we could do for a shelter. So let's see if we can get this going. Sometimes quicker than other times.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
And we'll get that lit, then we'll talk about our shelter here. And then we're going to hope that our fire continues to grow. So we have that going, and we'll keep an eye on that, make sure that we have some heat for a survival situation. And another thing with our fire, before we move on from that, is water. It's very important to keep yourself hydrated. So what I would do is carry just a metal water bottle. Some people even carry an old coffee can like this, something to melt snow. Because if you eat snow, you're actually doing your body more harm than good. Our body goes through a lot of energy to melt that snow, to turn it into water, so we're actually hurting ourselves in that situation. So the best thing I could do if my fire gets roaring here, we'll see if it makes it or not, I would set this metal can right next to the fire and let that sit there. I would want that snow to turn to water and boil for 1 minute before it's safe to drink. That way I know I've killed all the bacteria that could be in that snow. Once that's gone, we need to figure out somehow to stay warm during the winter. If you're in your vehicle, a great way is to stay in that vehicle. That provides excellent shelter. If you had a candle or something, or hopefully you have enough gas, keep it going. You can stay warm that way. In the wilderness, well, we need to adapt. So what I've built here is a very simple lean-to shelter. I've used a chunk of rope that I've had in my survival kit, tied a branch across 2 trees here, and just simply lean these sticks up, and then I've taken some spruce boughs, laid them on the back side. My shelter is prepared for the wind. Basically, it's facing to the west, and the open area is east. So the wind will blow up and over my shelter. When I'm inside, then I don't feel that wind. And wind and water are our enemies during the winter. Those two things zap the heat away from our body quicker than anything else. So I can sit here close to my toasty fire. I have a nice blanket of spruce limbs here on the bottom, and I also have my emergency blanket if it were snowing or raining out. I can lay this on top or wrap myself inside of this blanket.
Matt, you did a great job. That fire's going and everything.
We got lucky.
Your water is almost safe to drink, just not to touch yet. Don't touch it.
Yeah, we do need to kind of pull that away with sticks and let that cool. I don't think I'd want to put my lips on that metal can right now.
Not yet. Matt, thanks so much. Great stuff this morning.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.